Hey guys, it's Core Ross, and today we're unboxing more hardware made by Mountain, and this time it's the MacroPad and DisplayPad. And if you've missed it, I've already got a video out covering their keyboard as well, which is a seriously impressive piece of hardware. And we'll get started with the MacroPad. This is just simple keys. It has actual switches in there, so if you want to change it out for different Cherry MX switches, you can. And we'll move on shortly to the display pad, which has little LCDs. But this is what's in the box. So you've got a base plate here, which is heavy, and I'm very happy about that because it means it doesn't slide around when you actually put it on the desk and you try to press the buttons. Then we've got the actual keypad itself. And then there's only a few other items in the box. So we've got a tool for removing the keycaps and switches. And then we have a USB-C cable, a very thick one, very high quality. And this is USB-C to USB-A, so you can easily connect it up to your computer. And very handy being able to customize it, so you could make this look like whatever you want with custom keycaps. But let's move on to the actual device itself. So let's remove our peel here on the base. This is a very nice rubberized material on the bottom to help it stick to your desk. And then you've got the actual keycaps which go on to the top, and they just simply pressure fit in, and it goes on very, very nice. And there we have our little keypad. And you can see it's pretty decent, like it sticks to this Gamer Nexus pad pretty well, and on the wooden surface as well, it's not too bad. It doesn't move around, you can easily push the buttons without any issue. And it has a heck of a heft to it, like it weighs way more than you would expect it to. And I'm glad about that because they could have made it light for shipping to make it cheaper, but the fact that it's heavy means that practical use is better than something that would easily skip around in your desk. But let's move on to the display pad now. I think this is what people will be most excited to check out. And then we'll go and look at the software for both. So we've got pretty much exactly the same setup here. A nice, very heavy base. And then we've got the actual LCDs with the switches here, along with a USB-C cable to Type A. And that is what you get in the box with the display pad. There's also a manual and warranty in there too. And you'll find that it has the same rubberized aluminium base, which again, the device pressure fits into, and it feels very good, very solid, and that very satisfying heavy feel to the whole thing. We'll also peel off our little LCD screens there with the little plastic buttons, and again, pressure fit it back in. And I did notice when doing the close-ups of the MacroPad, I forgot to press it all the way in, but that's because I'm actually going to take it apart and do a giveaway on Twitter for it, and hopefully someone will enjoy having their own little MacroPad. But here is the MacroPad itself. I've got it set up right now with reactive lighting, so it's one color and then you press it, it changes to another. And yeah, it's a very, very nice little thing to be able to customize these buttons to do whatever you would like. And we'll go into the software and take a look at that and what you can get of customized. The MacroPad can be done with certain customizations, and then the DisplayPad can have a step up from that. So we'll go and just quickly show what it is like to remove the actual keycaps and the switches as well, because these are hot swappable. So if you want to put certain switches into here, you totally can, and you can really customize it. And I can imagine getting some really cool keycaps as well that would make this look exceptionally cool, just sitting on your desk with custom keycaps in it. And now let's jump into this software. And we've got all the usual stuff in here. We've got a profile that you can set up for different stuff, and you can switch that profile whenever you want. You've got your lighting. So I've got it set up for reactive light now. So when I press it, I'll actually go to a different color. We could go for matrix and try that out. And of course, that is a flashing green, better on a bigger keyboard. We could do the breathing perhaps, and we can change the speed and all that, and brightness and everything, and of course colors too. And the best thing about this software is the fact that you don't have to have it open. I found that out with the keyboard video that I did, is it actually uploads everything to the device. So you can close the software entirely. You can even take the device, plug it into a completely different computer, and use all the functionality you programmed into it on that other computer without any of the software present. And that is a huge bonus for me because I hate having stuff like, say, RGB lighting software. I don't like having any of that in the background at all. So the fact that you don't need anything like that, nothing running in the background, is pretty impressive. And of course, you can go in and customize every single button, and we can do pretty much whatever we would like with it. So we could do, for instance, OS commands. We could set it to open Task Manager, perhaps, or shut down the computer. But let's go and set it for the task manager. And then if we actually press that button, of course, task manager is going to come up. But we've also got a bunch of other stuff we could do as well. So we could run a browser, so like open up a web page, or we could run a program that we've selected on the computer. We can open up a certain folder. We could run a macro, control your media, so pausing and playing and all that. You've also got the ability to do keyboard shortcuts and also mouse shortcuts too, along with switching profiles, along with controlling different services and applications. So you've got OBS, Twitch, Adobe products, and DaVinci Resolve. And if we go into the Adobe options, you'll see that it supports Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and Photoshop. And that leaves you with all these buttons here that you can customize to your heart's content. But not only that, you can set up macros as well. And then you've also got your general settings where you can check for like updates and such. Well, let's move on to the display pad. Let's finally switch this on. Let's first of all listen to the switches. And I'd say a pretty satisfying click out of them. Of course, not hot swappable like the other one. These ones are permanently in there. But let's go ahead and add stuff because this is actually on. And we'll start with a clock here. So you can see that I'm able to select a few different clock options. And yeah, it just has a really cool little LCD there that shows that clock. So we'll go through and just change a bunch of these. And I think we'll slap in some animated GIFs to see how far we can take the customization of this. And that looks amazing. That is so cool. So yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun just customizing the hell out of this. I'll try and make it more tasteful, but I do love the fact you can just put literally anything in here. But the advantage of this one over the MacroPad is obviously the very specific stuff you can put in, like the PC info. So GPU usage, CPU usage, you've got your clock and all that. It is very cool to have all that stuff just sitting there that you can just have a little glance at. And yeah, I'm just going to have to mess around with this to see what overall setup I might go for in the long term. But yeah, it's cool to have all this information very easy to see and to be updated regularly, and just looks really, really cool. I did go through and I customized all these with different graphics, but I did find one. So I had a GIF of Doc from Rainbow Six Siege, and it just wouldn't work. Don't know why, but that file just would not go to the display for some reason. So it's definitely not like perfect, but considering obviously you've got the entire internet to find GIFs on, I think you can probably find enough that are going to work perfectly good. And I only had that one that didn't work on this device. But yeah, just sweet as hell being able to customize this. And of course, with the MacroPad, you can customize the keycaps. So you can still get the same range of customization, but it's the real-time information you're going to be missing out on when it comes to the display pad. And just being able to have the the cool little LCDs that you can do anything with. And then the baseline functionality for both devices is exactly the same. So of course you've got the ability to do anything you want with those buttons and control just about anything and have a lot of fun. And there also seems to be quite an active community around these devices as well, because they have been around for a while now, and people seem to be enjoying them and learning how to customize them in different ways. So quite a good community of different mods you can check out to bring the functionality up even more. But yeah, super impressed, very happy to try these out, and they are super good quality. I think they're not bad for the price as well, which is not something you usually say about tech-based devices these days. But anyway guys, let me know what you think about these in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.